Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in this video, I want to test out something. I've already tested out the Tati Beauty, the Tati Blendiful. So here it is, and that's what it looks like. So I did a video on that of me using it and kind of like I guess, I can't remember if it was the first impressions or not, but anyway, I did do a video on it, but this video is different. So if you look at it, the Blendiful, both the original size and the mini one, clean. And I did post the IG video of me cleaning it and washing it by hand. So the makeup does come off pretty easily. I mean, you have to kind of massage it a little bit to clean it. But if you watch my IG video, I did post a video on that. Hopefully you've seen it, because by the time I upload this video, then the IG video has disappeared. So yeah. Anyway, so it was used once, but now it's been washed and now it's clean. So I decided to do a video where basically, will the Blendiful still work just as good as it did when I first got it? You know what I mean? Because I feel like some stuff you wash it once or maybe even twice. I've only washed it once so far, but some products you'll wash it once, maybe twice, or more, I don't know, but you'll wash it and then it doesn't perform as good as it was when you initially got it. So this video is me basically trying out the Blendiful once it's been washed, and can you still use it the same way, and is it still good? So enough of this long introduction, let's just jump right into it. Alright, so if it's not already obvious, I clearly have makeup on. I do have foundation, concealer, all that good stuff. So I'm going to take off just the face makeup, not the eye makeup, just the face makeup, because we're just testing out the Blendiful on my face. And so I'm going to use a makeup wipe. I have this Kirkland Signature Daily Facial Towelette. So that's what it looks like, if you're wondering. So let me go ahead and wipe off my makeup and then come right back. Okay, so my makeup is removed except for the eyes, obviously, and I'm going to try the Blendiful. So I'm going to put on some, face makeup, powders, whatever, just face makeup stuff, not the eyes, clearly, because I still have my eye makeup on. So for the primer, I'm going to go ahead and skip the primer just because, no real reason, just don't want to put on primer, because I'm going to be recording a bunch of videos. Anyway, so skipping primer, you can put on that if you want to. And also, when I do put on primer, I don't really like using sponges or brushes. I just put a little bit on my hand and then kind of massage it into my skin. So my primer tool is usually my hands, so there's that. So skipping primer. So now let's dive into foundation. Today I'm going to use the Wet n Wild. This is the Photo Focus foundation. It's their new dewy foundation that came out. So this is actually brand new. I just got it and it's my first time using it, so I'm really curious what it is. I love dewy foundation because I have dry skin, so normally I tend to just kind of lean towards dewiness and luminous foundation. So I guess in a sense it is a first impression with my foundation, but I'm not really going to talk about the foundation too much. I'll do a separate video on that. Let me just open this Wet n Wild foundation up and then get started. So I had to kind of guess what my, foundation shade or color was, just because I was at the store and you can't really test it out. Let me actually put some on the other side too. Alright. It does smell, I don't know, it has a smell to it, but oops, foundation on my hair, you guys see that? Alright, just put some where you feel like you need to put foundation on. Normally I would probably use a little plate to put this on and then put it on my face, but I don't plan on sharing my makeup with anyone, nor do I ever share makeup with anyone, just because I don't like sharing makeup. I don't like sharing used makeup because to me that's just kind of gross. So let me just wipe off that. Alright, there you go. So I have some foundation on my face, and now I'm going to take my Blendiful. So clean Blendiful, and we're going to just, let me use a mirror. work this into our face. Well, speaking of the foundation, I mean, it is a very light coverage, I'll say that. Okay, so it looks like the Blendiful is working pretty nicely even after I've washed it. And I feel like some people are talking about it depends on if you go with the grain or against the grain on the Blendiful. But honestly, I'm just doing it whichever way, up, down, side to side, and for me at least, it seems to be working just fine. So I have no problems with the Blendiful. It works just great. That was the foundation. Now let's go ahead and try out the concealer. Alright, so for the concealer, I'm going to use my Estee Lauder Double Wear Instant Fix Concealer. And it has like one hydrating side and the other is the concealer side. I'm going to skip the hydrating side and just go ahead and dip into the concealer. So put some on right under my eyes where I need it the most. And then pick up my Blendiful and pick up my mirror. And I'm going to kind of fold it so I can have a little bit more control. And that seems to be working well. So far, so good. That's like the one thing I like about this Blendiful. I know it's not really at least, okay, let me backtrack. Okay, let me rephrase what I was about to say. I was going to say it's not a new invention, but I mean, I don't know. Is it a new invention? I guess not. I don't know, but doesn't matter. I do love the Blendiful a lot. I mean, I love especially because you can like fold it and maneuver it the way you want it to. I mean, I keep saying I mean, but all right. I'll just stop right there. It's a really nice invention. I do love how you can maneuver it and manipulate it to exactly how you want it to be. So, alright, so the concealer is placed and taking a look at myself in the mirror. I mean, yeah, I think I did a really nice job. I mean, why do I keep saying I mean? Okay, words. Think of different words, Sarah. What is wrong with you? Alright, let's continue on to the next step. Okay, so the next step I will be putting on, so I did foundation, I did concealer. Let's put on some blush. Okay, so for blush, let me use the Milani Baked Blush. Milani makes some crazy, amazing blushes. If you've been watching my videos and my other old videos, you will know that I have, you know, my good share of Milani blushes. And this is one of them, the Milani Baked Blush. This one is in their shade 02 Rose de Oro, or Rose de Oro, right? So if you open it up, and that is the shade right there. Look how pretty that looks. It has like little gold reflex in it, which makes it really nice. So we're going to use our Blendiful for this. So I'm going to use, you know what, before I dive into my blush, we need to put on some powder, some setting powder. So powder. So normally when I do powder, like, you know, setting my face with my face with powder, I would go in with a brush like this. This is the e.l.f. Powder brush. Perfect for powder. e.l.f. powder brush. What else would it be used for, you guys? So this is the e.l.f. powder brush. But so usually when I'm like doing my makeup, I do like putting on the powder with the powder brush. But for this video, I'm going to use the Blendiful instead. So for our blush, we are going to for our powder, I'm going to use the Laura Mercier powder and tap some into our cap, okay? And then just take a clean side and basically, I need my mirror. Just pat some in right where you feel like you'll need the powder the most. Probably the under eye, on the forehead, all over, and then just let that sit a little bit, but not for too long, you know, or for however long you want. For me, I don't really let my powder sit that long, if at all. I'm already wiping it off and dusting off the excess, just because I have dry skin and I don't want my powder to sit on too long. Alright, so let's wipe off all the excess. So the powder portion, like putting on powder with the Blendiful, that was super easy. Nothing to it, I feel like. So that's pretty good. So now let's go back to our blush. So for the blush, I'm going to use another side of the Blendiful. Dive into that beautiful Rose de Oro by Milani blush. So I picked some up, and I'm like diving right into the blush palette or whatever you call it. And I'm going to, again, pick up my mirror and basically tap that right on my face. And I can either tap, you know, with a little bit more pressure or just be gentle about it. It depends on how you want the blush to look on your face. So you decide all that. You are in control. So, alright, the blush is on and the blush looks good. I like it. I do notice when I use a brush, the blush comes on more like opaque and, you know, a lot more pigmented, if you will. But I'm not mad about it. This is a very natural, soft look, and natural, soft, glam looks, to me, it does scream out Tati, so not mad about it. So far, so good. So the blush looks amazing. Let's go in with bronzer. So if you watched my other video, I felt like putting on bronzer with the Blendiful was quite difficult. But I did mention, you know, to me, I feel like there is some type of learning curve to using the Blendiful. So not that I had an extensive amount of practice, but I've been using it for a little bit now, and, you know, I guess I have a little bit of experience under my belt. So let's try it. Bronzer. So for bronzer, I'm going to use this. This is the Butter Bronzer Hit Pan. You guys can tell I love this. And, you know, people rave about the smell. I guess it smells like the beach or coconut, whatever. But honestly, I'm probably like the odd one out, the, you know, the 1% or whatever. But I'm on the side where I don't really like the smell of this, to be honest. But the performance of the Butter Bronzer is phenomenal. So, you know, can't help but use it. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of fold up my Beauty Blender. Beauty Blender, my bad. I'm going to fold up my Blendiful and dive into the Butter Bronzer directly into it and pick some up. All right. And then, so I felt like I said before in my video, this is going to be pretty tricky to me just because, I don't know, all right, so here we go. Let's just start. So I'm going to just gently tap where I want the bronzer to be. First, placing it exactly where I want it. All right. So that part I feel like should be pretty easy. And then kind of blending it out to see, this part is the difficult part, I feel like. I don't know, maybe I'm just holding the Blendiful in an awkward way, but you guys see that? It just kind of, I don't know. Using the bronzer, just, I feel like it's not really working for me when I use the Blendiful. I'd rather use a brush, but that's just me. Again, there is a learning curve, so, you know, practice makes perfect, right? So, yeah, I mean, it's okay. Not really a fan of using the bronzer with this. So there's that. I want to mention, I'm not sure if you guys noticed or not, but so here is the Blendiful, one side, and the other side with the little, I guess, what is this called? Like a little handle you can use to hold on to it. So if you are using this side and you feel like this is in your way, I mean, just flip it inside out, right? So now you can have this side without the little thing in your way, and it's on the other side. So that's like a little, you know, a little trick. Not that it's like a trick or anything, but if you know, a little tip, trick, yeah, sure, why not? It's called a little tip. If you're using this side and you feel like this is getting in your way, just boom, inside out, or is it inside out? Whatever, you know what I mean. You just saw it. I mean, replay it in like slow motion if you need to, but there you go. So that's my tip of the day. So let's put on some highlighter. Okay, so for highlighter, I'm going to use the little baby mini Blendiful. Super cute. It's a heart, and we are going to try this. Not try it, but you know, it's been washed, so let's see if it works well. So for the highlighter, we're going to use our beautiful Prisma Glow palette by Dominique Cosmetics. All right, so we have one like creamy, you know, highlighter and 3 powder highlighters. We'll do one side creamy and the other side powder. So let's first dive into the powder highlighter. Literally just dipping directly into the powder, and then so I did mention in the first video when I first started using the Blendiful that I noticed with highlighters, it doesn't go on, I feel like, as like, you know, in your face, look at me glow type of look. You can see it. I mean, there is glow to my face, but it's a very soft, natural glow. So if you are happy about a soft, natural glow, hey, perfect for you. But if you want like an in-your-face kind of like, you know, look at me, I am glowing, you know, heaven from the gods or whatever, you might want to use a brush. Okay, so that is the powder side. Turn my head a little bit more. So there you go. Now let's dive into the creamy side, and again using the other side of the heart, the little heart shape. I'm gonna dive directly into the creamy side. So right there, and we're gonna use the other side to. So the creamy side, maybe it's because it's cream, but you can definitely see the creamy side a lot better. You know what? I feel like if I'm using a powdered highlighter, I'm going to use a brush. Maybe I might use this, I don't know. But I'm going to probably most likely use a brush. But if I'm using like a creamy highlighter, I feel like this is perfect for that. This just really lays on that creamy highlighter really nicely. Usually when I do creamy highlighters, for example, like the one I'm using now, I just use my fingers and kind of like blend it in, but this works really well. Alright, so let me turn my head. Yeah, look at how crazy that looks. That's pretty nice highlighter. Alright, so powder, which is subtle, very nice, it's pretty, it's beautiful, but here we go, creamy, it's in your face, yeah. Okay, so have we pretty much tested out everything? We did foundation, concealer, we did the blush, the contouring, the what else did we do? The highlighter. So I think pretty much I've tested out everything that I needed to on my face. And yeah, this was a video where I test out the Blendiful after it's been washed. And again, I've only hand washed them. I haven't like washed it in the, the washing machine or the laundry machine or whatever. But yeah, this is a video where I tested out the Blendiful after it's been washed, and I think so far so good. It's only been washed once, so there's that, just a little disclaimer for you. But yeah, that's pretty much it, you guys. Here's the final look of the results or whatever you want to call it. Here we go. Okay, looks good, great, amazing. And you guys, that is pretty much it for the video. And I am doing a giveaway coming up very soon, so be on the lookout for that. And the giveaway coming up, so you might want to subscribe and follow all the rules down below. And if there are additional rules, you'll just have to watch the giveaway video to know what those additional rules are. And that is pretty much it, you guys. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, a wonderful night, wherever you are. I will talk to you next time. Bye, guys. Too many, smoke up just to show